Hello everyone. Today we are learning a poem, Solitude. This poem is written by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Sing and the hills will answer. Sigh, it is lost in the air. The echoes bound to a joyful sound, but shrink from voicing care. Rejoice, and men will seek you. Grieve, and they turn and go. They want full measure of all your pleasure, but they do not need your woe. Be glad, and your friends are many. Be sad, and you lose them all. There are none to decline your nectared wine, but alone you must drink life's gall. Feast, and your halls are crowded. Fast, and the world goes by. Succeed and give, and it helps you live, but no man can help you die. There is room in the halls of pleasure for a large and lordly train, but one by one we must all file on through the narrow aisles of pain. Joy attracts company, sorrow leads to loneliness. The poem begins with a famous line: laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. It means people are drawn to happiness but tend to avoid others' sadness. People celebrate your success but avoid your pain. Wilcox shows how society embraces those who are cheerful, successful, and generous, but turns away from those who are grieving or struggling. Pain is a personal journey. In the final stanza, she reminds us that while pleasure is shared in crowds, pain must be faced alone. Even death is something no one else can go through for us. The poem gently teaches that while happiness brings companionship, sorrow often leads to solitude. And that's a truth of human nature. Central idea: laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. This iconic opening line captures the essence of the poem. Joy attracts company, but sorrow isolates. What type of poem is Solitude? The poem Solitude by Ella Wheeler Wilcox is a three-stanza poem. It is separated into a set of 8 lines. Each of these stanzas follow a consistent rhyme scheme of A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Who do these lines refer? What do they mean? For sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has troubles enough of its own. The lines refer to the short-lived joy of life and its long woes and troubles. The meaning is simple. We borrow the pleasures from worldly things for limited moments, but we will have to bear the woes and troubles for a longer time. A happy person has many friends, while a sad person has none. Do you think this statement is true according to the poem? Do you think it is true in life? Why or why not? The poem says, be glad, and your friends are many. Be sad, and you lose them all. Yes, this statement is true. Not only in the poem, but in actual life also. In the real life, our friends stick to us when our purse is full. But when we have difficult days, they will leave us. How do we make our way through difficulties? The poem in this connection says, but one by one, we must all file on through the narrow aisles of pain. This explains us that in difficulties we have to suffer alone. There is no one to share our sorrow, Weep and you weep alone is the correct saying. Prosperity attracts friends, but adversity separates them from us. Does the poem give a very encouraging picture of the nature of humans in general? Why? No. The poem Solitude by Ella Wheeler Wilcox does not give a very encouraging picture of human nature. It shows that people enjoy being around happiness, but often avoid others when they are sad. The poet suggests that in times of sorrow we are mostly left alone, which highlights a selfish side of a human nature. How does the poem Solitude relate to the Golden Rule? The Golden Rule encourages empathy and kindness. Solitude reflects this by showing people are drawn to those who share joy and generosity. Those who suffer or grieve are often left to face it alone. If we want support in our own hard times, we must be willing to offer it to others. In essence, the poem implies that being emotionally generous and compassionate, laughing with others, listening to their sighs, sharing their burdens, is what builds true connection. That is the heart of the Golden Rule. Just as the Golden Rule asks us to imagine ourselves in others' shoes, Solitude reminds us that our treatment of others shapes an emotional landscape we live in. If we only seek joy and avoid sorrow, we risk creating a world where empathy is scarce. Explain the last stanza of the poem. Toward the end of the poem, the poet signifies the idea of solitude by saying that we all go alone to face death, which is the saddest thing that can happen to a person. The poet asks us to be positive and attract the good company. Thus, this poem has a hopeful and optimistic tone. It demands us that we stop being critical and negative. What is the theme of Solitude by Ella Wheeler Wilcox? Wilcox is saying that happiness brings company, but sadness brings solitude. She wants readers to think about how the world reacts to others' emotions and how we should try to be kinder and more understanding. Do you agree with the ideas illustrated in the poem? Give reasons. Happy feelings bring people together. If you are cheerful, others want to be with you. Sad feelings make you feel alone. If you are upset or crying, people might stay away. These are the two ideas illustrated in the poem. Now let us try to understand these. Some hard things in life must be faced alone, like deep sadness or even death. Yes, I agree. The poem shows how people often like being near joy but not sadness. That happens a lot in real life. But I also think some people do care and will stay with you even when you are sad. Kindness and empathy can break the loneliness. So even if sadness makes you feel alone, having kind people around you can change that. How does the structure of the poem affect the meaning? The poem has three parts, each with 8 lines. Every part talks about how people react to emotions. The poem has patterned rhyme, which makes it sound nice and easy to remember. It helps focus on the key words like laugh and weep. Solitude structure sets up opposites like joy and sorrow to show how people respond to emotion, welcoming happiness, avoiding sadness. The poem structure makes the message very clear. It says that joy brings company, but sorrow brings solitude. What is voicing care? Whose voice is being referred to? Voicing care means speaking about sadness or worry. It's like when someone sighs, cries, or says they are feeling down. It's the voice of someone feeling sad. like the person in the poem, but the echoes don't want to repeat or respond to sad sounds. They only copy happy ones. It shows that the world likes joyful feelings, but often ignores the sadness. That is a part of the poem's big idea. You are never alone when you are happy, but you might be when you are sad. What do the first two stanzas tell us about what the narrator has learned about life? In stanza 1, the author writes about laughing and weeping, then singing and sighing. She writes that when you laugh and sing, you have the company of others, but you weep and sigh, you are left alone. She also writes that the earth is sad and needs to borrow happiness. It has enough trouble of its own, so it doesn't offer help when there is sadness. The narrator realizes the happiness and joy attract company of others, but sadness seems to push people away. In the second stanza, the author writes about the rejoicing and being glad brings friends to you, but grieving and sadness push people away. The narrator realizes that when times are good, people will be around. But when times are bad, people will disappear, and you go through that rough time alone. That is solitude. Here are a few rhyming words in the poem. Go, go, all gal, care, air, train, pain, die, by. Let us read the opposites in the poem. Sing and sigh, laugh and weep, mirth and trouble, joyful sound and voicing care, nectared wine and life's gall, glad and sad, pleasure and woe, rejoice and grieve, feast and fast, succeed and die, halls of pleasure and halls of pain. Imagery used in the poem. Joyful sound, sad old earth, voicing care, full measure, nectared wine, life's gall, halls of pleasure, lordly train, narrow aisles of pain. How is the theme of the poem Solitude reinforced through symbolism? The theme of Ella Wheeler Wilcox' Solitude is that joy attracts company, but sorrow leads to isolation. The title Solitude itself symbolizes the isolation that often accompanies personal pain and challenges. The poem explores how society warmly embraces happiness, but often turns away from sadness, leaving the individuals to face pain alone. Wilcox uses symbols to show solitude isn't just physical, it's emotional. The poem gently reminds us that while joy brings people together, sorrow often leaves us walking alone. Figures of speech, metaphor. Sorrow is hushed at the grave alone. This line compares sorrow to something quiet and personal without using the words like or as. Figures of speech, personification. Rejoice, and men will seek you. Gives human qualities to emotions, suggesting joy and sorrow can attract or repel people. Figures of speech, contrast. The poem contrasts joy and sorrow throughout. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep and you weep alone. This sharp difference highlights how people respond differently to happiness and sadness. Figures of speech, imagery. Vivid pictures like feast and your halls are crowded helps readers imagine scenes of celebrations versus loneliness. Symbol, echoes. Society's reaction. Echoes repeat joyful sounds but ignore the sad ones, showing how people respond to emotions. Thank you.